I mean, I liked going with it. I thought it was a great honor. Dusty Rhodes telling me, listen, I'm going to make you a Horseman. I walked out on stage and I was calling Dusty's name, and he called over and said, pretty Paul, and he comes walking over, come over here, baby, give me a hug. And he goes, pretty, you're so pretty. He goes, you know what? That's what I'm going to call you, Pretty Paul Roma. So right then and there, Pretty Paul Roma was one of the Horsemen. Nobody knew about it. It was, total kayfabe. When I walked into the Omni in Atlanta, people looked at me like they saw a ghost. What the hell is this guy doing here? Nobody wanted anybody from, up north. But, it was cool. And I got along with Arn really well. Tried to get along with Rick. Seemed like I did for a while. Hard to tell. Always that rough spot, it seemed. I come out of the ring, and it was, we don't do that. Okay. Horsemen don't do that. Okay. Horsemen don't sell like that. Okay. It was always something. When I was with Arn, there was never a problem. When we traveled together, Arn kind of stood quiet, and, Rick ran the show. I get it. He's the big deal. I get it. But, yeah, I don't know. It just didn't seem to gel. I tried. Just didn't seem to gel. And then, when Paul came over to me and said, hey, they want to tag us. Yeah, are you okay with that? I said, with you? Absolutely, brother. And then I came to the name Pretty Wonderful. So
definitely
I told
seems like
Paul
you and Paul Orndorff were a good mix.
What's that?
Definitely seemed like you and Orndorff were a good mix. I like the chemistry you guys had. Two awesome heels kind of playing off of each other.
Yeah, I mean, what was nice about Paul is he's real. Speaks from the heart. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He was constantly, teaching me things. You always learn something. Paul was one of the guys in the WWF when I had first started that called me over and said, hey, he goes, hey, kid, you got a minute? Can I tell you something? Can I give you some good advice? And I said, absolutely. And so he said, got a great body, great look, and you can wrestle. He said, I'm going to tell you something right now. Vince ain't going to do anything with you. And I was like, holy shit, talk about tearing someone's heart out, right? And,
yeah, really.
He goes, so what you have to do is you got to go out there, and whatever Paul Roma does, you give the crowd what Paul Roma does every night. Whether you're tired or you're busted up, you're hurting, you go out there and do it. And that stuck, and that's what I did. There's times I didn't want to drop kick, but you know what? I did. Maybe it wasn't as high because I was hurting, but I did it. And that stuck with me my entire career. And then we end up rendezvousing in WCW and tagging up, and I sure the hell told him that again. He goes, you remember that? I said, no, I never forgot it, Paul. And he's just real, man. He's just real. Those people are hard to find. Those are what you call keepers, man. So, yeah, we hit it off really well. We talked in the car about the match, what we could do better, maybe what we shouldn't have done, maybe what we should have stopped them from doing. And that's a good tag team, That's how it works. You discuss what you did. You don't just have a match and get in the car, drive to the next town, and not talk about it. Not if you want to make yourself better. So that's what we did.